let's talk a little bit about this. We're not going to watch the video. If you guys want to watch it, it is still available. They didn't private or anything like that. But this is Diabolical Souls. I'm going to be keeping up with this channel now after this because it looked like it's a live streaming channel. So we'll see what else happens.
Okay, I was looking to see if I recognize anybody. I recognize the Angry Badger.
Right.
He actually has a channel where he does some pretty cringe shit.
Well, yeah. I figure we'll look at this. Let me make that larger so you can see all the names on it. So Angry Badger is one I recognize. Ronan Joe's another one, and Gooch also I recognize. And these guys are kind of tight with the Fellowship, meaning like the
Gooch.
F&T
He
guys.
was on fucking Hypnotic's cast. I remember that.
Yeah. Yep. They're tight with Hypnotic, that whole group, Yellow Flash, all of them. They somehow managed to score an actual interview / stream with Beau DeMayo.
Well, what comes to mind before seeing anything that's said, what comes to mind is that Critical Drinker has managed to get a couple of people. Who was it? They got who was it? Az got the director of that Robin Hood thing not long ago, right? I mean, I think there is a way that they somehow, I guess they just bank on the person not knowing much about them, maybe. And they just kind of grift their way into an interview in some cases. I don't know about this.
I feel like for fair purposes, I just kind of jumped to a time here. Let's just give it a couple minutes here and see kind of what the conversation is. I watched a big portion of this last night, and it didn't seem too egregious in this part of it, but the chat was a different subject, and I'm not even going to show some of the stuff I was seeing in chat. But let's listen to a little bit of this here.
No, I'm just going to quickly I want to do a shout out to Joker for all the memberships, dude. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, brother. And then Josh has a question for you, Beau. Why do you think so many creators struggle to adapt comic properties respectively, while also making it feel fresh and original?
This is actually I jumped to a really good spot. I'm curious to what his answer to this is, because this is like almost a little dog whistly. Why do you think so many creators struggle to adapt comic book properties respectfully? That feels a little dog whistly, but I don't know if Beau is going to give him the answer that he wants. So let's see what he says here.
Make it look easy. Thank you for making a quality show.
Well, thank you. My pleasure. I didn't know I made it look easy. I was hoping I was doing like the Lucius Fox, Morgan Freeman thing in Batman Begins, where he overly explains how difficult it is just to make the point to Bruce Wayne. Because it's not easy at all. And I think that's the thing, guys, is like, as much as we sit, and I sat where you guys, I was on superherohype.com when I was growing up, on forums arguing with people about Wizard Magazine, for those people who remember Wizard Magazine.
Oh, yeah.
I think there is a belief that creators take on comic books with the intention of like making something shitty. There's not a person I've met in this industry that does not give their whole damnedest to try to make the best thing they think it should be.
Wow. That answer is probably red flags to all these guys in their heads, because isn't the argument like that creators are purposely making shitty content?
Yeah. I mean, some of them, depends on who we're talking about, but like, yeah.
I mean, that's the general narrative, is that a lot of these people that are making this are out to kind of ruin it on purpose. You know what I mean?
I mean, I wouldn't agree with this, Autumn, just because like woke isn't really a thing. That I don't subscribe to that term as being valid. Just because there's no practical use to it, because so many people mean different shit.
I also want to point out how, if you look at their faces, they're excited to be talking to Beau, but had this gone another direction, they would not be like this. You know what I mean? Like if the show had an Angry Badger specifically, we're going to look at his page in a moment. If the show had been like super gay, like overtly gay, this would be a completely different conversation happening. He wouldn't even be on the stream with them, to be honest. Let's see.
The stumbling block I think we hit is realizing when something maybe isn't for you.
I don't think anyone realizes that, and that's what the problem is. That's the nicest way that you could say it. People are taking projects they probably shouldn't take because they do not have the love and respect that you clearly do.
Okay, what do you think about that, Dane? What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, what I think about that just kind of is now colored by something pretty significant that I saw looking at Angry Badger's channel.
Okay, do you have anything specific on there, or
from the channel?
Yeah.
Well, I looked and I saw that he's live right now. And it's X-Men's 97's Beau DeMayo Speaks, The Acolyte Lives Up to Expectations, Badgercast, episode 8. And then, okay, so that actually seems kind of like it might be potentially normal, harmless kind of shit. Join in the description. Join the Angry Badger with Nerd Wars and Mr. Tech Rat. Nerd Wars, all caps.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Isn't that the InfoWars thingy or whatever that they?
Yes, and he is a member. His channel is the first listed here as a channel member on there. And then I don't know, man. This is it's kind of a weird one to suss out. I mean, obviously, not somebody to be trusted. But
we'll drop that out because I think I kind of got like I watched the whole thing so I can give a full thought on it.
Please do, because I have to assume that this is not that Beau DeMayo did not fully understand this stream and the people involved with it before he agreed to it, right?
Yeah, so this is just kind of a quick glance at Angry Badger, his channel and his thumbnails. Halo goes full gay pride. Sweet Baby Inc. killed this game. Too much of a gay thing.
Who said yes to this? And then you got the trans gun over there.
Right. But you're sitting next to an openly gay man on a stream, oiling him up because you're so excited to talk about this guy that took part in X-Men 97 while you're also making anti-gay videos.
Wow.
I mean, I don't fully understand why someone would do that unless they're lying about this or they were lying to Beau DeMayo. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. By the way, you've literally got right here Erwin on stream with him.
Yeah.
But I just realized he's got fewer subscribers than me, so I shouldn't be showing him too much.
Oh yeah. I wanted to point out, like, that is kind of the community that he was sort of being present with. And if he were not someone creating a piece of work that they had all astroturfed, I wouldn't think too much of it. But a lot of these channels went out of their way to astroturf X-Men 97. And the constant anti-gay stuff is a little weird.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Yellow Flash Orion. So Bob of the Old Way says, interviews like this don't happen passively. Someone hustled nonstop until they landed Beau, probably lied to them to get him on. He almost certainly did not seek them out. So,
well, maybe that's tells us that we should do the same.
Well, here's the thing, anti-idiotic. We could interview him. Absolutely. But it would make more sense under the context of the show and the conversation that was happening about X-Men 97 for channels like us to interview him versus channels that astroturfed it, spent months trying to make the show fail, and then oopsies, it's a good show. Let's get the showrunner on.
So just looking at the chat of this stream's live right now, I see stuff like, talking about Acolyte, is the entire cast just different colored lesbians? That's cool, man.
I don't know,
it's
man.
Yeah, a lot of problematic stuff.
It's become really exhausting because it's now devolved, and low watermark, we've talked about this as well. There used to be a point in this debate, I want to call it that, this culture war, I guess, where the people in those spaces were arguing about things like writing, cinematography, pacing, editing. That's gone now. That's gone. Now it is woman lead, bad. Gay person in it, bad. Trans people in it, bad. Person of color in it, DEI. That's literally the conversations they're making now. They're no longer pretending that it was ever about quality, because now they can't make that argument. There's been too many movies like Barbie that have done well against all odds. And so now they don't have any other argument to make about it. And I don't want to toot my own horn, but I said last year that there was going to come a point where it was no longer sustainable for them to pretend. They were going to have to just come out and start saying racist stuff, saying homophobic stuff. And it looks like we're right on that cusp of that. And it's Pride Month. So
I think we can I think we should actually take a little bit of credit for that too. We have played a part in pushing them to this point where they kind of just have to like acknowledge it to some degree, almost as a way to like dismiss it or to make their audiences okay with it. Yeah. You know, otherwise they would be ignoring something that's a growing sentiment, not just, you know, from us, but from others. Plenty of others are now speaking out about this shit.
Scott, exactly it. They don't need to dog whistle anymore because they've conditioned their community. They have indoctrinated their community. They have groomed their community. So they no longer have to do that anymore. So
wow. Fucking A, man. I just want to show, in case anybody is not familiar with Nerd Wars, there's a video on my channel about that. Pillar of Garbage did a video recently based on the video. It's on my channel. It's just seems to be an extension of InfoWars, as in Alex Jones. And then their content is like this: the front lines of the nerd culture war. Right? So you've got the Acolyte is the gayest Star Wars. Even the shills hate it, which doesn't make any sense, man.
We could talk about that for a second too. I do want to give my thoughts on it. I did a review on my other channel, but
I'd love to hate it. About that. How does that even make any goddamn sense? Go full woke. Like literally everything is from this perspective. And like if you watch some of their quote unquote documentaries that they have on the channel, which is really just it's a compilation of videos from all the different chuds kind of thing. Mm-hmm. He hasn't done one in a while. Okay. But,
someone said they sent me an email. I did not receive an email from you, or it's not showing up in my inbox.
He's wanting you to look at some channel I already told him that you're probably not going to speak for you, but I'm pretty sure that based on the standards I know you have, you're not going to want to cover it. So
I have low standards, Dane.
I'm talking about
my standards are very low.
It's a channel that like literally has like less than 1,000 something subscribers.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't want to like. There's so you're talking about like the standards of like echoing like and promoting. Yeah. That's different. I thought you were talking about ethical standards. My ethical standards are very low, so I don't.
Well, I mean, I think that is an ethical standard, right? Like, you don't want a platform because that could benefit them, and that's. But so here's where I'm talking about. They got the documentaries here, and these are literally just a bunch of clips from all these chuds edited together into like a 3.5 hour almost thing. They called it a documentary.
Screwface's Nerdrotic from Wish.
And they, he talks about this shit in the context of being a communist China fucking, agenda and all this stuff. It's like
Low Watermark swinging in with 20 gifted memberships. Damn. Thank you so much, Low Watermark. Everyone in the chat, shout out to Low Watermark. This means, if you're on my channel watching this, this means you will get early access to all the videos. You'll get badges. You'll get emotes. You'll get membership perks for live streams. So thank you so much, Low Watermark, for the support. Thank you. I do appreciate it.
So, I mean, I'm guessing that really this channel it can mostly, at least these videos, the longer ones, they exist for people that don't have the time to watch Nerdrotic every day, but maybe they're people that might watch a documentary now and then.
So have you seen, there's a lot of, and I want to, like, I guess we'll talk about these things and then we'll do some chat stuff or whatever, sure. But have you seen, and I'm not talking about Katie did clips because she actually live streams and does other stuff. Have you seen these channels where they're just clip channels?
Yeah.
Like that's all they do is clip. There's no live streams. There's no regular content. Because although Katie does clip, she streams quite often with her own stuff. So is that a new thing? Because I don't think YouTube monetizes those channels, right? They don't make money off of repurposing other people's
I mean, I think that just like any channel, they can make money if they they've reached the threshold, but then it depends on whether or not the creators are because you get notifications when somebody uses a bunch of your video or whatever, and they'll, you know, you get to approve it or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, and then you can choose how you want to have, what relationship you want to have with that channel, whether you know them or not. So like, you know, if it's somebody that's just using your clips and they're doing it for good reasons, you know, they're like kind of just repurposing them for whatever. And it's like, I'm definitely just gonna let them use it without any strings attached.
Wow. So clip channels do make money if they don't get strikes. Wow. It's crazy. Like, I don't mind people that are doing clips and also doing their own content, but if you're just uploading clips, that's...
Well, I mean, so there was actually a point, honestly, whenever I was not doing well financially. Anti-idiotic, you need to stop asking. You asked it 4 fucking times in my chat the other day. You asked it 2 or 3 times today, and he already answered you, dude.
Yeah, I didn't get an email. So if you follow me on social media, just send me link me at me with a video that you want me to look at or something. Right. If it's not, the email's not coming through. You can do it on Instagram. You can do it on Twitter. You know, it's fine.
Bosch was telling people that like he doesn't care if you want to make a channel and turn it into like a Bosch clip channel, because he's, you know, he's letting his socialism speak for him. He's like, yeah, if you want to do the clips or whatever, that's fine. I don't want any money. Yeah. And I thought about doing it, but yeah, I didn't do it.
So Low Watermark says, thank you for introducing me to Dane. I will watch more of Dane.
The second one's correct, but you know, the first one was kind of cool.
It's your alias. It's Dane from Earth 2.